Does the thought of selling have you running in the other direction? Have no fear. Today, I want to talk to you about how to sell without selling. Now, that might sound kind of crazy, but stay with me. I want to share all my inside secrets. Hey, y'all, I'm so glad you're here for this episode of the Big Heart Business Show, where we talk about all things about building a business that makes a difference. I'm Carrie. If we haven't had a chance to meet, I'm super excited that you're here to have this conversation about selling. If you're in business or you have a desire to start a business, sales is going to be a part of that. And the clients in my community, when I talk to them about selling, when I talk to them about sales, it's something they'd really rather not talk about. Maybe it's something they'd rather outsource. Just somebody else do the selling for me. Give me an amen in the comments if that's you. And here's the thing, there's nothing to be embarrassed about because selling has, as an industry and as a profession even, there's been a lot of tacky, sleazy, slimy tactics. And my goal is to really help you change the narrative on that, right? To really start to think of selling as serving, because that truly is what it is. If you are somebody that really wants to make a difference, right? You are a coach or a consultant or a creative or a photographer or a designer, like you have a passion for what you're doing. And you know that when somebody invests in themselves and starts to work with you, their life, their business, their health, their relationship is going to be better. And so when we can focus on that, then selling just gets to be an opportunity. So I want to share with you 5 tips that are going to really help you really switch the mindset that you have about selling. So number 1 is be curious. Now, this might sound really simple, but you want to be curious. Find out about the other person. Find out about what are they struggling with? What do they desire? And again, is what you have to offer something that can help them? Or if not, maybe you know somebody else. Maybe you have a referral that you can give them. Or maybe you can give them one small piece of advice that's going to make the difference for them. So be curious. Number 2, we want to ask good questions. So when we're being curious, how does that work? Well, we ask really good questions. We ask questions that are going to get them to open up, that are going to get them to be vulnerable, right? It's not yes and no questions. We want to ask questions that are open-ended and that are good, deep questions. So this is where you're also going to start to build that bond and that relationship with the person that you're speaking to. And here's the thing, when you really look at how to sell without selling, this is something that we're doing, in our everyday life. You're going to, maybe it's a networking event. Maybe you're going to a happy hour with some girlfriends, or maybe you're just at a festival, or you're not even going there to sell. And you just run into somebody and you're getting to know them and you're being curious and you're asking great questions. The next thing is the number 3 tip that I have for you is help solve the problem. Be natural. Like, what would you naturally do if a friend of yours said, hey, I'm having a problem with X, Y, and Z. What do you think? You would be like, oh, either I've had that problem and here's what I did to fix it, to solve it, to make it better. Or you know what? I know of a reference, a book, a person, a institution, a course, something that's going to help them. So it's the same thing in your business. Just work on solving the problem. And it doesn't always mean that it's going to be you and your services that are going to solve the problem. So number 4, it goes straight into this, is be of service. If you're focused on being of service and you're really being authentic, that's probably one that we could just throw into all these steps. Be of service, right? Share openly, give the reference, give the referral, give the book title, or if it makes sense, share with them how you personally can help them with your product, your program, your service, your course, whatever it is that you sell, because then that's where sales really becomes of service, because you've listened to the person, you understand what it is that they what kind of problem or challenge they have. You've asked really great questions. And so that person really understands that you've listened. So then when you make that recommendation or you make that offer, they're like, oh, wow, thank you. You've listened. You understood what I'm dealing with. and I trust you. Again, that's where, we can talk about that know, like, and trust factor. And when we really trust ourselves, and this is where tip number 5 is going to come into so much play here, is be detached from the outcome. Right? Even when we're having a sales, like an actual proper sales conversation, if you go in with tight fists and you're like, oh my gosh, I need this sale, I need to make this money, I need, and it's all focused on you, that's where it starts to feel really icky and really slimy and really sleazy. But when you're like, you know what, I'm just gonna show up, I'm gonna be of service, I'm gonna ask great questions, I'm gonna be curious, and if there's a opportunity for me to serve and help, I will make an offer. And you're detached from whether that person says yes or no. Now, again, this doesn't mean you don't make goals. This doesn't mean that you're not a powerhouse that's up to big things, but it's that specific person. It's like if you're trying to hold water in your hands and you're like, I'm going to hold this water, I'm going to hold this water. How much water can you really go through your hands? But when you open your hands up, when you open up to the possibilities of what's possible, you can have this stream of water, a stream of money, a stream of clients coming through. And this is really where I start to talk about the art of sales, because it is really an art. And so if you want to know more about selling, if you are like, this makes sense, but I want to know more, I've got a free resource for you, and I've linked it in the comments below. And it's a free training on the art of sales. And it's totally free. You can get it at carrieshepard.com/sales. And I go more in depth about selling and how to do it in your business and how to feel really good and truly how to make sales really about serving. Because again, we're building a big heart business that makes a difference, not only to us, but to our community, to our world, to our clients. And so sales is that fuel that's going to make that happen. So I'm so excited to share this information with you. Thank you for being here. If you want more videos like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I drop new videos every Wednesday, and I would love for you to leave me a comment. Let me know what in this video stood out to you the most, and is this starting to help you think about selling and sales in a different way? So I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you on the next video. Bye for now.